Hello, everybody. So I'm going to wait a couple of seconds. Firstly, Miss Little Callie, the kitty, has been going cuckoo for a couple of hours. So I've tried recording the video, and I pre-recorded a video that will be available on Rumble sometime today after I upload the video. And also, if this video cuts out, then you'll be able to watch it in its entirety on Rumble without any interruptions. So, and it's not as bright. It's in chart video form. You don't see my face on the Rumble video. So you're welcome. Anyways, don't mind my dirty dishes back there. I'll just sit right here, actually. I'm just kidding. I don't care that you can see my dirty dishes. So I am getting more comfortable though. So I'm going to try my best to explain. This video may help everyone go, oh, like it did to me. I got goosebumps, so I've asked for all the energy in my highest vibes to hopefully make this as simple and happy as possible. So hopefully you'll be able to read these facing forward. You read these facing forward and you'll see them. So anyhow, so I'm talking about the time wave spirals, and a big thank you to Dana Tarot Spice, because we've had some really freaking awesome conversations on what this means to us. So anyways, I'll get on with the show. So we have this. Yeah, don't mind the incorrect math in here. We're not going to talk about math, by the way, other than some simple math. So we have two timelines going on here. The blue one is the Christos timeline, or Christ timeline, whatever you want to call it. And then the Fibonacci sequence, which is based on the metronomic, oh my goodness, Death Star harnessing, okay? So basically at the time of creation, right here, both timelines were created. And then there was, let's just say, the higher vibes timeline. And then this is our 3D matrix right here. Okay, and I'll explain what this red matrix means. All right, this is the 3D matrix. So these have run in creation, okay, together. Now they're about to converge at axis 7, as you notice. 7 trumpets. And what number are they accessing at? 144. Here, I'll hold it up because you say it's fuzzy. So can you see that better? All right, so there we go. It's a little bit better, I think. So the Christos timeline is at 45-degree angles, and the fallen angels is at 60 degrees. Okay. Yep. So here's some old chart for you. 3D vibes. Well, I've explained it in the Star of David, okay, as the computer pointing down and the money pointing up. As above is below. You get the whole thing. And hex. So even snowflakes and everything right now in this matrix are base sequence. Okay, that's why the Fibonacci sequence, you see it everywhere in nature. Doesn't mean it's right. Just saying. Okay, so we're gonna come to, I've always thought, like this line of truth. There was an event that happened in 2011, I'll explain. And now we're heading towards the split. Okay, so that's when these two timelines will overlap. All right, and then we're in 5D, and I've always used the infinity sign, and I'll show you what this means in a moment. All right, so this is like peace, love, harmony, service to others. Easy. All right, let me get to my, because I shuffled all of these after my last video, so I'll just talk about them freely. So in the 3D matrix, think of it 6, then 12, 12 disciples, 12 times 12, 144, 12 months, whatever. This energy, if, look, I drew a little one, has 12 points. The 6 tops and then the 6 in the middle. So that's 12. This is all focusing on, it goes inward spiral. It's an inward spiral, like death spiral, okay? Starts and finishes in here. that make sense? So I think that's what this 6,000, last 6,000 is. And it fractally collapses at number 13. All right. So there's another video that I watched that explains to the 13th creation. So it's interesting how parallels some of this information is. So whether it's 100% accurate or a little bit accurate, take what resonates and move along. So don't get too caught up in it. So this is the quantum energy of a finite outcome. All the time it stops and starts within itself. See that? Okay, now I'll explain why it does that. All right, so think of the time, the math, and the chemistry all in this 3D matrix is limited. All right, it's limited. So what does the Fibonacci sequence look like? And what is it? Well, it's basically commonly starts from 0 and 1. Well, what kind of matrix are we in? A very digital matrix of zeros and ones. So if you move through here, you get to some numbers like 34 and 55. What do those mean in our big Q post? Boop, boop. And then, son was born that year too, but 144, it stops at 144 there. Okay, only has the quantum energy of when it started. So it starts and stops. Fallen angles. This is all that. There's the money. There's the data. Hold it up a little bit closer. And Loosh is what feeds this thing. So what does the Loosh look like? What does that mean? So 3D, you exist. The only way these people can exist, or these beings, is to feed off of these beings. And this energy, this is God's energy, okay? So when fallen finite matrix creation stops feeding off of the 5D energy, it dies off. There's nowhere to go. It's that finite trap. Boop. Okay? So I'm going to get to this soul contract and missions within this matrix in a minute. I'll use this as a matrix and lower vibes, okay? Okay. So what if we had people, I'll get to show you how this works, that were born of Christ consciousness in this matrix, and they died in this matrix with unconditional love being given to them. These people are in heaven, correct? So here, let's get to what I think is going on. Oh, here comes Kitty Cat, wants to hear about heaven. Okay, how about you just take a rest beside me, little one? She's been really super spazzy all day, like anyhow. So let's get to the crystal timeline and what that looks like. So here we have Christ consciousness. It starts here in the middle, in our heart space. If you think of us as each individual person, let's just start that easy, or all of the universe and under God right here. And then it goes down. It goes God consciousness to universe, to the solar system, all the way down to atoms within ourselves, within this organic matter, okay? Now at the top of these, see the Y there? That goes back and forth energy, because these create the male female. Look, here comes someone. She just wants to get on the action. Yeah. The male female creates what's called backflow return energy of higher frequencies. So backflow return energy. And each of these energy spots, the male female, the male and female here, create another energy port, which is also 12, I might have you know, okay? So you see how that works? But this way, the energy is constantly evolving and from its heart center, God consciousness. So, and within each of these spots, it's like another universe, another galaxy, multiverses, timelines. So do you see how that works? It's like, think of the atom and then think all the way up, or think of the God consciousness and all the way down. It works both ways, the energy flow, okay, in the higher frequencies. So what's been going on basically in these, here's a better one too. So the Christos energy, organic life, okay? These are the hold the line people. People who've always maintained the higher vibration and don't let these programs affect them too much. They came in at a higher vibration in this timeline, okay? And they basically dip out when they've met their soul contract, I think. But that's all against free will. Don't mess around anything here, Callie. Jeepers. Just like trying to screw with all the cords. I'm like, anyways. So these are people that are of God source consciousness, service to others, and I believe these people are ascended masters. I've talked about this in a few videos before. Say like they come from a Jesus bloodline and they know the plan and they always have high vibes and they can see the crap for exactly what it is. They've never lived in this matrix, so to speak, other than a character in the matrix. Okay? Takes a lot of energy to be in these lower vibrations for the ascended masters. Okay? So what's been going on is the 3D matrix has kept everybody in these lower frequencies. That's the artificial life, okay? It's the loosh, the human trafficking, the money laundering, the harvesting of souls, the death daisy cycle. So I talked about the movie Soul, and basically that's what they do. When you die, you basically go into the waiting before, and they send you back into the matrix. Like it's been a cycle. So that's what's being broken right now is the cycle of these contracts of fallen angles 45 collapsing, okay? The angles are going 60 to 45 degrees. Simple, okay? Or breaking a 6 and making it 8. 8 is infinite, all right? So when we're in that higher timeline, there's when we're in a higher timeline, we're basically pulling the people out of these lower vibes. When we're saying, hey, don't conform, don't consent, I don't consent, you're telling everyone in this thing that you're not consenting. Every bad person that's monopolizing, you're telling the 1% all the evil. Your audio to your video is horrible. Well, that's okay, because guess what? It'll be on Rumble. It's because I'm live streaming, that's why. Sorry, Tina. It's chopping in and out. So anyways, what's gone on, I'm just going to continue. There was a fail-safe. Basically, the Christ-line consciousness has an autoimmune response like everything else natural, and it started moving towards the higher vibration and flicking people off that no longer served the purpose. They were doing pillars of frequency to anchor in all the organic code. So now the fella says between November 8th and 9th of this year, we'll be splitting of those timelines. Let me go back to this. Yes, I know, Destiny. Sorry. Well, let me just repeat that in here. Audio is terrible from signal. Sorry, folks. You can watch on Rumble if it's really bad. That's how fast I type. There you go. Anyways, so basically that fail-safe was pushed in. And why I think that data is kind of interesting is because if you think back to your personal life, what was going on in there, 2012 was a huge, I think that was the beginning of the purge, if you will. So of the splitting of the people and those timeline frequencies. So let me go back. Wait a second. I should have just left them where I lay them, and the video is not in the same order, by the way, as Yes, constantly cutting out. I know that. I did warn you. I did warn you. So let's just go back to this timeline. And plus, when you're on the ball, it'll cut me out anyways. These two things are going to split, these two matrix. So heaven on earth is going to appear, and hell on earth is going to disappear. So the people who chose, who are of service to humanity, 51% or more, go rise up. And the people who don't want to accept that new reality after the timeline matrix, and they will not hear what we say. There are people who chose this a long time ago, and they're only there to be in this matrix, period. Okay? So you get what I'm saying? There are people who are cloned, born, created just to throw us off our vibrations here, to keep this loosh going, to keep our vibrations down from the ability to split apart from each other. Does that make sense? And we're not putting up with it. And these people are like, I don't know what you're saying, because they're on two different frequencies, period. I'm not saying the other people are never going to cross over, but the people who are service to self constantly are going to stay of service to self. They will disappear from our matrix, and we are going to rise up and see a whole different God's code. I believe, like we see in loop pictures, the male and female, masculine, all of these galaxies and universes, metaverses, alternate timelines, manifestations of creation right here, because at the heart of it, this is a big moving organism. This is what it means when it says we're all one. Anyone who's of God's source or service to others is moving in this timeline as a big moving organism, and nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop what is coming, because it's showing these matrix people right now what has happened. And I believe that there are people that were kind of in this 8-year loop, that we knew things happened 8 years ago or even beyond that, and people are just finding out about it now. So when the timeline split, they can make a decision. Do you see that? That's what the Mandela effect is like too. Okay, so some people will have seen good things happen, and then others are just finding out about them now, or evil just happening when we've known people have been arrested in this matrix a long time ago. So that's why you're watching a movie, because the movie that you're watching is the dismantling of this, and the people that represent that, and the people that hold the spells within that. So when we're free, might be an electric magnetic pulse, might be a solar flare, might be just the truth, might be whatever, the emergency alert system, whatever that pushes us apart. But the collective consciousness has shed off enough of these low vibes. We started out maybe at 5 or 10% at the beginning of 2020 with people knowing what was going on in this, okay? That they were like rejecting everything right away and telling other people, hey, come back over here to this side. It's much better. Yay. The high vibe side, the love side, love and above. That's what this is. Energy goes where energy flows. Now you see how that works? If you keep it within, it stays within. If you don't get rid of your triggers and you be selfish about it, and I'm butthurt about everybody, and I'm thinking about all these stupid ass timelines of these stupid people that had to tell us about what was going on in this timeline. I don't like any of those messengers. Be mad, be mad, be mad, be guilty, be shameful, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, excuse me, calm down, lower your vibes, be in a higher vibe, love each other. We're all going through this together. So what it means when we are all one, and where we go one, we go all, literally is because we're pulling these apart. We're loving people unconditionally. We love people unconditionally so that we can pull them out of that matrix. Do you see that? Do you want me to do the sound effects? So there you are. I know there's lots of people that can explain these timelines and further math and further theories and further whatever. To me, I just wanted to do it so I would have a better understanding of it, understanding of it. of what these vibrations look like, and not to be caught up in all of the programs that are going on. Like, that's your amigo. Ego is not your amigo. I mean, that's your ego. It's not your amigo. So, yeah, please, when you are done, type what you said in the comments. No, you can go watch the Rumble video, and I'll put that video in the comments. I love you guys, but this is a lot of energy. It took me 3 days to write this energy down and to try and calm my cat down enough so I could record the video. The energy is off the charts. What I believe we're seeing is literally us being integrated with plasma pillar lights of like these higher vibrations. That's what the solar eclipse look like, is this. Go look at the solar eclipse in its full form. And it looked like not okay. So the solar eclipse is about, and between now and the next full moon, that's what's going on. Hardcore for energy. And it is based on what's going on in the stars and all of that stuff, because we are all stars. We are all the connective energy within this organism. So think about all of us vibrating in high frequency, back and forth, back and forth. No one's ever really staying the same. Timelines kind of change and hop all over the place, even within ourselves. Nothing is ever stagnant. It's constantly growing, constantly breathing. That's eternal life. Your life anymore. This is really the breaking of the matrix. That's all you needed to see to make your dreams come true. So hopefully, yes, patience and gratitude for someone caring to get info to us despite communication censoring. Yes. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Yes. No, it's hard. It's hard because, like, honestly, cell service, I do not get drop calls here. Somebody could call me and I would have no idea. You could try and call me 100 times on my cell phone and I would not know. Seriously, no joke. It's lucky when people get through. I live in the mountains and it's Starlink, so that's why I have shitty live reception. But that's why I'm uploaded and pre-recorded the other video. It's a little bit more, not as cheeky as this one. I think it's only 17 minutes long, 16 or 17 minutes long. So, but I wanted everybody here to see the visuals of what was going on, and literally we can see everything has to be revealed, okay? Everything has to be integrated and revealed. Think about dark to light, all right? Our DNA has to know that experience to never experience it again, to shut it off. That's what the whole shift is. Because this life, I believe, has been experienced. So let's just throw this out there. Imagine if the trans agenda just kept going through and through and through, and there was nobody to reproduce in this artificial life. Because it is artificial when you cut your private parts off and make them into something else. That's artificial. You're effing with this, okay, to do this, okay? So imagine if they did that, and then the whole thing never reproduces. That's the easiest way to explain why male and female are necessary, not just like the way we've been explained as male and then female, okay? There are many within. And think about our 12 strands of DNA within, okay? Doop-a-doo-doo. So hopefully, yeah, that's working out. So no, Starlink isn't great right now in the mountains because I think it's just trying to bounce off cell phone signal and other things as well. But when it's fully working and QFS, like, this system represents the quantum financial system. And there's going to be an integration so that money is never a thing. Our consciousness has to get rid of it out of here to move through here, if that makes sense. You know? Has to see what happened in here to accept a new reality. So there's going to be a level of learning, a lot of learning about what happened in here. So, and then when this happens, this is unhackable. Why is it unhackable? Because the higher frequencies, they can't hear you. They can't hack into something that's in the ether, in God's universe. They can't hack into your vibrations, can they? They've been trying to figure out, but they can't. They've been trying to figure out, but they can't. Okay? So, yes. Anyways, I love you. Go watch the Rumble video. I'll upload it within the next hour or two. And be kind to yourself. Don't get too by this matrix glitching out. So, anyways, love you guys so much. Everybody's blurbs, blah, bloop, blip, blip. Maybe it's doing this just because it doesn't want you to hear me. Did you hear that? I love you guys. Have a good day. Oh, Kitty finally fell asleep. Finally.